playing older games made me realize how bad modern gaming is. I hope I haven't watched this already.
Games like they used to anymore. If that wasn't true, you wouldn't see so many remasters being made. I've gotten to the point where I don't even get excited for new games anymore. 9 times out of 10, I'm reaching for an older game or even a retro game. And
Yeah, it's just like I just bought Stellaris for $10 on sale. I had that game on my wish list for I think 10 years. I think that about the time when it came out, I somewhere played it on a free weekend, thought it was good, but I wasn't ready to play it yet. Then it was on a wish list forever. I don't even know what are those. Yeah. Like I'll show you something. Uh, I played this game. Unironically, I played this game. I played this game on an Atari in the 80s. It's so stupid.
it's not just me. So many people are buying older consoles and getting back into collecting games, and emulation has absolutely exploded in popularity. I've seen channels like TechDweeb, Aiden Walls, and Retro Games Core absolutely skyrocket over the past few years. I mean, think of it. When the Steam Deck released, it didn't become popular because it could run PC games. Everybody, including myself, rushed out and bought one because of its ability to play older games. And so far, 2024 has to be the best year I've ever had enjoying games. At the same time, this has to be the first year I've bought the fewest amount of new games. I honestly thought that the recent new indie game, Squirrel with a Gun, was the only new game I purchased this year.
The thing is, talking gotta be good old days. Kind of, yes. The thing is, I haven't bought a new game in a long time. I mean, I bought a new game this year, Tower Dominion, but it's not a triple A game. So the chance of it being good was very high, and it's just a good tower defense game. For I paid $17 on sale. I think it had the 10 or something like that percent sale, and I got it after playing the demo for 7 hours. So that's a new game that I bought, and I completely not regret it. Now, I bought Rise of the Tomb Raider back in the day, early access, because I liked the game before that so much. But I completely hated Rise of the Tomb Raider. Totally hate it. It's one of the worst experiences when it comes to gaming for me I ever had. That's how horrible the story is. Yes, the story, not the gameplay. The story and how it's told. It's horrendously bad. It's garbage.
That's because I totally forgot about Prince of Persia The Lost Crown. I thought that came out late last year, but it actually came out in January, so 2 new games? And I don't plan on opening my wallet anytime soon. I mean, why should I? My backlog is the equivalent of a doomsday prepper's pantry. In other words, while the hate mob is searching high and low for the newest obese, purple haired, androgynous, wheelchair bound black person to complain about this week, I've been over here enjoying greener pastures. Going back and playing the games I missed out on has been the bulk of 2024 for me. Honestly, I feel like this is the year of the backlog. So it doesn't necessarily need to be retro games, it just happens to be the games I reach for the most. At the beginning of the year, I made a list, and every time I rolled credits on a game, I would add that game to the list. It's a lot, and I'll probably pin it to the comment section, but it made me realize just how many games I didn't get the chance to experience over the years. The God of War games for PSP, Need for Speed Most Wanted, and Chrono Trigger on my hacked 3DS before that horrific water bottle incident inside my backpack happened. I don't want to talk about it. That's just to name a few. Sure, I want to play newer games like Black Myth Wukong. As a fan of Dark Souls and Sekiro, this game seems right up my alley. But I still haven't beaten Dark Souls 2. I loved Fallen Order, and I wanted to eventually play Jedi Survivor. I bought Mortal Shell on sale for like $5, and I haven't even touched that one yet. And when I finally do have the time to get good again, I feel like Elden Ring's gonna be my first priority when it comes to clearing my backlog. Then when all those games are finished, I probably want to play Lies of P. Clearly, I can wait for Black Myth Wukong, and even then, I'm just having so much damn fun playing Metroid Zero Mission for the 40th time.
Do you play Call of Duty any versions? I played the very first Call of Duty. Like literally the very first. I think I even have the package here somewhere. I think. And back in the day, Call of Duty was actually a mostly single player game. Mostly because of people didn't have internet. And the story was actually good. And the campaign was fun to play. I really enjoyed that. It was really good. But I wouldn't touch Call of Duty with, you know, oh god. How it's called? I don't know. I don't touch that. Because why would I want to pay over $100 for a game that's only valid for 1 year? To me, that makes absolutely zero sense. Zero. Now I already have it in my mind, get into the early access version of the game called 83, which is from the developers that developed Rising Storm 2 Vietnam. I want to play that game because I have about 500 hours in Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, and I expect to put at about the same amount in the new game. And that game will be, will be sold, and then people can make their own servers. Imagine that. That's also a thing that you can't do with Call of Duty, I think. I think, I don't know. Making your own servers, run them on your own machines. Back in the day, that was normal, that people would create their own servers. Today, that's unheard of because anti-cheating. It's not about anti-cheating. It's all about selling cosmetics and stuff like that. The companies don't care.
I personally missed out on Metroid Prime 2 and 3, and I'm done waiting for remasters, Nintendo. I went back and played Luigi's Mansion 1 and 2, and I practically marathoned the Final Fantasy series in preparation for the 7 remakes because I'm just that type of person. I can't just hop into a series, I have to start from the beginning. Yes, I know that.
And he did that with a series that's not where the single games aren't bound by each other. Like they aren't not even playing in the same world a lot of times.
They're all self contained stories, and I don't care. This is like an OCD problem, okay? It doesn't matter if it's Super Nintendo, GBA, N64, GameCube, PlayStation 2, whatever. By the time you end up being ready to play a new game that you've been hyped for, it ends up being at a massive discount. I'm personally hyped
Yeah.
for Sparking Zero. Huge Toonami vibes with that last trailer, but guess what? I've only played the Budokai series, so I'm pretty content saving my money in the meantime while I catch up. Now, I'm most likely in the minority, but for some reason I feel like realistic graphics are less immersive. For the
It depends. It depends actually on the graphics and on the game you're playing. The thing is, realistic graphics from back in the day today look completely outdated. But also, if you look at a lot of games today that look realistic, they look worse than games from 10 years ago, like the Assassin's Creed Shadows. The game looks like shit. It looks like shit compared to older games. It's it, how is that even possible? Incompetence and lack of care and stuff like that. You know, you put a bunch of money into a game, but you don't care. Game's still shit. And then you have developers with one person develops a game better than 100 mil game, and it's not even close. That's the funniest thing to me.
longest time, I felt like it was because newer games were kind of style over substance, meaning they looked pretty,
They are. They are. In most cases, they are. Not always, but in most.
but the gameplay wasn't a focus during development. To some extent, that's true, but the best way I can describe
All Ubisoft games. All of them.
it is
But maybe not the last Prince of Persia. That might be different. But I haven't played it. I have only seen a little bit. And the thing with that game is it's a side scroller, so you can't do the typical Ubisoft game design thing on it. So the game has to be good. Or no one plays it.
reading a book versus watching a movie. When you watch a movie, you can kind of turn your brain off and still be able to follow along.
Yeah.
But when you read a book, you have to pay attention a lot more because you have to use your imagination to fill in the gaps that the words can't fully convey. Well, it's the same way when you play retro games versus modern games. So many retro games are memorable because they end up being so colorful and hyper stylized.
Yes.
And in the case of
I mean, we see it here, right? This looks great. The thing is, this looked good when it came out, and it still looks good. I would love to have an uncle like you. Thanks. Very thanks. And the thing is, some things from realistic looking games from the 2000s still look good, but that's mostly like things like the water, lightning, shadows, and special effects. The textures, no, absolutely not at all. The characters, no, not at all. Like I like playing Half-Life 2. Like I love that game. Played through it 12 times. I love that game. And does it look as good today as it did back in the day? No, of course not. Because I have all the comparisons to games that look better just because the tech wasn't there back then. But the game is still really entertaining, really fun. That's why I like it so much. Same with Half-Life 1. Half-Life 1 is goddamn ugly compared to modern games. Most of them. But it's still a good game. It's still a good game. Runs perfectly fine on everything. You can play it on a toaster these days. Just like the original Doom games. And you will have fun playing the game. Now, it has its quirks, of course, but it's a good game. the design still holds up. If you would just switch out the tech, have it look like a modern game, it would still play, have it play the same. It would still be good. It doesn't look good anymore. Hey Jesse, hope you're doing good.
Pixel graphics, because they're not going for realism, your mind has to fill in the gaps, the same way with a book. It's the reason why so many Pokemon fans miss the 2D games. When I play a hyper realistic game, everything kind of becomes this visual static to the point where I don't even know what parts of the environment I can interact with. It's the reason why you see things like the infamous yellow paint splattered everywhere to help guide you.
Yep, that's also a problem these days. Things look so like playing in Tomb Raider. I know where I can go and where not because it's so obviously because there are signs like on the borders of things where I can grab. There's white paint. It's very obvious. It's completely obvious, but it's also completely unrealistic because why would that be there? Why? You could have the player just try things out and stuff like that, but that might lead to the player dying and frustration and stuff like that. And oh, you don't want that. So we have to do that. Which is, it's just stupid. Yeah, then the player dies. So what? He has to figure stuff out himself. So what? Stop pretending that all gamers are stupid.
I also miss how easy games were to just pick up and play. It felt like you could just grab the controller and every button was dedicated to a certain action on
Yeah.
screen. Easy to learn, but hard to master. I swear, when I played games like Red Dead 2 and Tears of the Kingdom, I was constantly fumbling through quick menus, and it didn't
Yeah.
matter how many hours I had in the game. I just could not remember those stupid menus. And it just pisses me off when the control scheme feels like a goddamn Bop It toy, you know?
Yeah.
Now,
The thing is, I have very good example of War Thunder. I have I have partly no idea where my buttons are. In some parts, I have no idea. I just I when I on a bar below where all the things are, I always look there to know what button to press because there are way too many buttons in the game that I have to press to do stuff. It's way too many stuff. But also, to War Thunder's credit, you need a lot of buttons to do a lot of things because there is so much stuff in the game to do. It's just unfortunate reality of that. But then also, flight simulators back in the day and still today have the same thing. A lot of buttons, a lot of them. And it's hard to memorize that.
Now, I'm no stranger to emulation. 10 years ago, I was playing Pokemon Emerald on my phone. I remember being completely blown away when I got Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai running more than 15 frames per second on my phone. Remembering those days and then seeing GTA 5 running natively on the Steam Deck, I absolutely have no words. When people tell me they're holding out on the Steam Deck because they're waiting for Valve to release a successor or they're waiting for the Nintendo Switch 2, I'm thinking, what are you on about? We don't even need a Steam Deck 2. And as far as Nintendo Switch, I mean, the Steam Deck runs more Nintendo games than any single Nintendo console.
Oh, I think he was a Nintendo. And he actually did. I mean, I'm not going to buy the Switch 2 because you can buy it. You only can, for the ones who don't know, you can't buy the Switch 2. You only buy a license to use it, which can be revoked at any time for any reason by Nintendo. Always keep that in mind.
The Steam Deck is like if Nintendo brought GameCube games to Nintendo Switch Online. To me, that's worth a purchase by itself. I swear, Valve's got me out here acting like Jehovah's Witness. Like I've been enlightened. You don't even need to spend a lot of money either. For the price of a single AAA game, you can get one of Ambernick's handhelds, and they come already preloaded with ROMs. Ambernick just released extra colorways for their RG35XX I think I'm saying that right, and I can't wait for my transparent red to come in the mail. I grew up with the Game Boy Advance alongside the GameCube, and I can see myself being preoccupied with this thing for hundreds of hours. I can't wait to replay Minish Cap with that cool ass GBA filter with the SP banner. The biggest reason, and this is the most important one, why I seem to always go back to older games is just that they feel like they were made by people who love playing video games. When I play games,
What a shock. People that like playing video games are making good games? By the way, back in the day, at Blizzard, everyone was a gamer. Even the receptionist. Everyone was a gamer. Everyone played games. Today's Blizzard? Nope. Not at all. And you feel that and see that when you play the games. They're that bad. That's why that's why I don't play Blizzard games anymore. They are just not fun. Especially World of Warcraft. Oh Jesus. I got me the last expansion, the War Within. Ugh. Ugh. I mean, I played through the story. Well, I played one of my characters to max level again on one weekend, and then I started playing more characters, and I, it was just bad. Why? And also, I will not play the next expansion. I have zero interest in playing it at all. I'm done. I'm completely done with Blizzard.
like Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, it feels like the devs genuinely came into work excited to do their jobs. By the way, if you haven't played this game yet, this is one of those games that'll put hair on your chest. The soundtrack is metal as hell, and you can use your katana to cut shit into millions of pieces. No nonsense, just straight into the action. I miss wandering off the beaten path and finding some obscure Easter egg, or being able to use cheat codes to completely break the game if I want. Whatever happened to games designed to be played for fun rather than to be bought and consumed as a product?
That's also a thing. For example, I played Half-Life 1 the first time through with cheats, like in 1998, like literally when it came out, because I was bad at games, and it's a single player game. No one cares. So I did that, and it was still fun. I still didn't know where to go. I didn't still didn't know what to do, but it was fun, and I really like the game. I still do. I still love that game, and that's also a thing. Loving a game that you know you play. I mean, how many people love Call of Duty? Like, oh, I love this Call of Duty, and then next year the next one comes out. Oh, I love this Call of. No, you don't. You just like this certain kind of gameplay, and Call of Duty gives you that. That's all. Like my favorite multiplayer shooter of all time is a Retribution, which came out in 2012 for the PC, and the servers shut down, I think, 2018. Because the developer and the publisher for the PC had conflict of interest, aka the publisher wanted to make as much money as possible by making the game pay to win, and the developer didn't wanted it. Um, so yeah, not that great. There is still an underground PC version and community going, um, but basically the game is dead. Unless on a PS4. The servers are still up on the PS4 to my knowledge. So if you have a PS4, you can play it. It's awesome.
Microtransactions are now macro transactions. Remasters prey on your nostalgia, and more often than not, they butcher the source material.
Yes.
Sometimes it even feels like
And just remember, the next Tomb Raider game will have no tombs to raid in it. Because that's insensitive. It's so dumb.
companies hate us and don't want us playing their games. And when I see games like Dragon Quest III HD 2D, a game that I haven't stopped thinking about since that first teaser trailer, having the original artwork censored for the modern audience, I bet you know who that is.
Yeah.
By principle, I cannot support this. We're talking about Akira Toriyama's original art. This is the man that made every single kid at some point in their lives want to be Goku when they grow up. I was in the backyard with my cousins back then having imaginary beam struggles. And when I found out about his passing, I literally had whole ass tears rolling down my face. People are quick to clap back and say people like me are chuds or whatever the hell they say these days. It seems like every time I turn around, there's a new buzzword being circulated after the last one loses its meaning. At the end of the day, I just want to play video games that feel like it was made by people like us. The kids that grew up with controllers in their hands, who got yelled at for sitting too close to the TV and told that it'll ruin their eyes.
By the way, it does. I mean, I wear glasses for that. Because of that. It completely ruined my sight. Well, it might be. Might also be genetic. Because I have a thingy going on with my eyes. You have no idea what he's talking about? Yeah, because you weren't born back then. It's that simple.
Kids that were trading Pokemon during recess with their link cables, yelling random slurs at each other in Halo 3 matchmaking lobbies. Seriously, how the hell did we get here? The good news is, though, I think the gaming industry is finally healing. Now, for the hardcore audience, we've been seeing this go on for a while now, but we're now at a point where even the casual audience notices all the 7 out of 10s and the fact that gaming journalists have been bought and paid for. They can see all the virtue signaling and political propaganda bullshit being shoved in their face, and people are sick of bloated ass time sinks and greedy companies trying to bleed them dry. People are fed up and they're finally voting with their wallets. And if that means companies like Ubisoft cease to exist, well,
get what you fucking deserve.
In the meantime,
I see it the same way. If Ubisoft would stop existing, nothing of value would be lost. Nothing of value would be lost. And by the way, they already have transferred all their properties to a company that's partly owned by, I think, Tencent. So in the future, the new games will be, most likely be made in China, which means they will be at least decent and not as crappy as the stuff that's made by Ubisoft itself, which I kind of look forward to.
While the AAA space continues to fold in on itself, I know people like me will be perfectly fine clearing out our backlogs and playing some good old retro games.
Yes. I mean,
Sponsored by Square.
to be fair, why would you buy a AAA game if you can just buy something that's way cheaper and is way more fun? I mean, it doesn't have cutscenes, but it's way more fun to play because you can actually play the game. I can't tell you guys how much I hate quick time events. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's disgusting. But yeah, I completely agree with that guy. Completely. Yeah.